Every single time you fill up your gas tank, you're participating in one of the most consequential financial agreements in human history, and you have absolutely no idea. The US dollar is the world's reserve currency, not because America has the best economy, not because it's the prettiest bill, because of oil. And one secret deal made in the Saudi Arabian desert in 1974. This is the petrodollar. And once you understand it, you'll never look at a dollar bill the same way again. Let's go back to 1944. The war isn't over yet, but the smart people in suits are already planning what comes after. 44 countries gather in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, not for vacation, for a meeting that would redesign the entire global financial system from scratch. The decision they made? Simple. Every currency in the world would be pegged to the US dollar, and the dollar itself would be pegged to gold. $35 per ounce. Fixed. Guaranteed. The logic was clean. America had more gold than anyone else, more factories, more guns, more everything. So the dollar was the safest bet in the room. So your money is backed by gold? Our money is gold, basically. Close enough. Deal. For about 25 years, this worked beautifully. Global trade flourished. Economies rebuilt. America was the undisputed financial center of the universe. What could possibly go wrong? Spoiler, everything. By the late 1960s, America had a problem. Actually, several problems stacked on top of each other like a financial sandwich of disaster. Vietnam, the Great Society welfare programs, the space race, all of it was expensive. Brutally, chronically, embarrassingly expensive. America was spending dollars faster than it held gold, and the rest of the world noticed. France, led by the perpetually suspicious Charles de Gaulle, started doing the math. Wait, you're printing more dollars than you have gold. America. We're managing it. We'd like our gold back, please. How much? All of it. Other countries followed. Everyone started converting their dollar reserves into gold. The vault was draining. Then came August 15th, 1971, a Sunday night. President Nixon went on national television and said something that changed everything. America would no longer convert dollars to gold. Just like that. The Bretton Woods system, 27 years old, the backbone of global finance, was dead. Not reformed, not renegotiated. Killed. On a Sunday. On live TV. Economists called it the Nixon shock. Everyone else called it a very bad Sunday. The dollar was now backed by nothing. Just vibes. And the full faith and credit of the United States government, which, to be fair, is a very powerful vibe. But here's the thing about currency. The moment people stop believing it's worth something, it stops being worth something. And confidence in the dollar was not great. Inflation spiked. The dollar plummeted against other currencies. Foreign countries were sitting on piles of dollars that were losing value by the week. America needed a plan. Fast. Enter Henry Kissinger, Nixon's Secretary of State. A man who genuinely believed geopolitics was a chess game, and he was the only one who knew the rules. He had an idea. A beautiful, terrifying, audacious idea. The Arab-Israeli War. OPEC, the oil cartel dominated by Arab nations, slaps an embargo on the US for supporting Israel. Oil prices quadruple almost overnight. Long lines at gas stations, fuel rationing, economic chaos across the Western world. America is bleeding. And Kissinger sees an opportunity. He flies to Saudi Arabia, not to beg, to negotiate. The deal he proposed was elegant in its simplicity and absolutely ruthless in its implications. America to Saudi Arabia. You price all your oil in US dollars. Only dollars. You take the profits and invest them in U.S. Treasury bonds. Saudi Arabia. And what do we get? America. We protect you. Military equipment, security guarantees. We park our navy in the Persian Gulf. Anyone who threatens you threatens us. Saudi Arabia. Go on. In 1974, the deal was signed. Quietly, with almost no public fanfare. Saudi Arabia agreed to denominate all oil sales in U.S. dollars. In exchange, America would provide military protection and weapons. Then Kissinger flew to the other OPEC nations and made the same pitch. One by one, they agreed. The petrodollar system was born. Here's why this was genius, and why it's still running the world today. If every country needs oil to run their economy, and they do, every single one of them, then every country needs dollars, because oil is only sold in dollars. Japan needs oil. Japan needs dollars. Japan works to earn dollars. Germany needs oil. Germany needs dollars. Germany works to earn dollars. China needs oil. China needs dollars. China works to earn dollars. The entire world was now working to earn a currency that America could print. Not gold, not silver, not anything finite. A currency printed by a government, with a printing press that never sleeps. Let's make this concrete, because the abstraction is easy to miss. When Saudi Arabia sells $1 billion of oil to Japan, Japan pays in dollars. Saudi Arabia now has $1 billion it doesn't need for domestic use. So it parks that money in U.S. Treasury bonds, essentially lending it back to America at low interest rates. America uses that money to fund its government, its military, its deficits. The Saudis earn interest. America gets cheap financing. Japan gets oil. Everybody wins, except anyone who isn't in the deal, which for a while was almost everyone else. This is called petrodollar recycling, and it's been pumping like an engine since 1974. The numbers are staggering. By 2000, the U.S. was running a trade deficit of over $379 billion, meaning it was importing nearly $400 billion more than it exported. In any other country, this would trigger a currency collapse. Not America. Because the world needed dollars, so the world kept buying dollars, so the dollar stayed strong. So America kept importing, so the deficit kept growing. And the world kept needing more dollars. It's a loop, a beautiful, self-reinforcing, almost inescapable loop. Federal Reserve official: we can print as much money as we want. Foreign Finance Minister: that's insane. Federal Reserve official: it's called an exorbitant privilege. Foreign Finance Minister: that's what insane people say. That phrase, exorbitant privilege, was coined by French Finance Minister Valéry Giscard d'Estaing in the 1960s. He meant it as a complaint. America turned it into a business model. America's ability to run permanent deficits without destroying its currency, to borrow at lower interest rates than any other nation, to sanction enemies simply by cutting off their access to the dollar system, all of it flows from this one deal. Made in a desert in 1974. Here's where it gets dark. Several countries over the decades decided to challenge the petrodollar system, to sell oil in currencies other than the dollar. Saddam Hussein, 2000. Iraq would sell oil in euros. 2 years later, the U.S. invaded Iraq. Muammar Gaddafi, 2009. Libya would create a Pan-African gold-backed currency for oil sales. 2 years later, NATO-backed forces overthrew and killed Gaddafi. Now, correlation is not causation. Both men had plenty of other reasons to be targeted, but the timing is notable. The pattern is notable. America has never officially confirmed the petrodollar as a foreign policy consideration, but it has also never had to. The more direct challenge comes today, from China. Since 2018, China has been trading oil with Russia, Iran, and select Gulf states in yuan, the Chinese currency, the so-called petro-yuan. In 2023, Saudi Arabia openly discussed accepting yuan for Chinese oil purchases. Saudi Arabia: we're considering diversifying. America: interesting. Have you seen our aircraft carrier? Saudi Arabia: we're still considering it. Russia, facing crippling dollar sanctions after the Ukraine invasion in 2022, accelerated this shift, trading oil and gas with India and China in rupees and yuan, building alternative payment systems, trying to route around the dollar highway entirely. Is it working? Partially. Slowly. The dollar still accounts for roughly 58% of global foreign exchange reserves as of 2024, down from nearly 73% in 2001. The erosion is real, but not catastrophic. Yet. Not a collapse, not a replacement, just a slow leak. Like a tire. You can drive on a slow leak for a long time, until you can't. Here's what the petrodollar actually is, stripped of everything. It's not a law, not a treaty, not written into any international agreement. It's a gentleman's agreement, backed by the world's most powerful military, denominated in the world's most trusted currency, enforced by the collective inertia of every country that has built its economy around it. It is, functionally, the foundation of American power since 1974. More so than any military victory, more so than any technological achievement, more so than any election. A single handshake in the Saudi Arabian desert gave America the right to be perpetually in debt, perpetually printing, and perpetually dominant, while everyone else runs the treadmill to keep up. The next time you buy gas, think about that. Every drop of fuel is a vote, cast in dollars, for a financial order designed 50 years ago by men who are mostly dead. And dismantling it might be the most dangerous thing anyone has ever tried to do. The dollar is our currency, but it's your problem. John Connally, U.S. Treasury Secretary, 1971. He said it as a joke. The world has been living with the punchline ever since. If this video made you feel slightly unsettled about the global financial system, good. That means it worked. Like and subscribe, and maybe diversify your assets.